Welcome back to the channel, everyone, as we continue our 31 days of Halloween. And today, we're going to take a look at a new release that just came out this week from Warner Brothers, in particular, Warner Brothers Animation, Night of the Animated Dead. Now, this is based on the original Night of the Living Dead classic. And for the most part, this is like 71 minutes long, and it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Yes, it's Warner Brothers, but the animation is definitely not up to the standard of, say, like DC animation. But it's still not bad. It's a little jarring at first, getting used to, but once it gets moving, it's not too bad. The voice acting is pretty darn good. You have a really good cast. You have Nancy Travis, Catherine Isabelle. We also have Josh Duhamel. So it's a pretty decent cast of actors and actresses that fill up the roster with this film. And for the most part, it's pretty spot on to how it follows the original, live action classic, Night of the Living Dead. It does change a few things here and there. For the most part, it does kind of stay on track. This film, is it worth picking up? I think that's the big question. Is this a film that's worth picking up? I would wait for it to drop in price. I would say $10 is probably the price to pick this up. I paid $18. I'm not disappointed, though. I did enjoy the film. And, seeing something like this, Night of the Living Dead brought to, an animation style, it just made me want to see, maybe like a Dawn of the Animated Dead. That would be kind of cool. Definitely, I'm not disappointed that I picked this up. I just think that it's worth waiting for this film to drop a little bit in price. And I really don't have to go over too much about the premise of this film. If you've seen Night of the Living Dead, you know what happens. Barbara and her brother Johnny heading on up to the cemetery to put flowers on their father's grave. Johnny's not too happy about it. It's a long trip, but their mother wants them to go out and put flowers. And while they're out there, you see this zombie that starts coming toward them. And of course, Johnny, what's he do? He looks at Barbara and says, "They're coming to get you, Barbara." And it is, in fact, a zombie. And from there, Johnny tries to fight off the zombie to protect Barbara. Johnny dies, in the act of saving his sister. And we're off to the races as she heads off to this farmhouse. And pretty much just like in the original, Barbara, she's traumatized through this entire experience. And, we have Ben shows up, and he, starts boarding up the house. And, of course, we have, people down in the cellar of this house who do not come up to help him, kind of figuring that, they're going to stay down there, and they're going to be, more well protected. And, eventually they do make their way up, and, there's definitely some conflict with the character, with the people who are down in the cellar and the people who are, above. But the one thing I definitely was more than interested to see was the fact that what's going to happen at the end of this. Are they going to change the ending of Night? Are they going to maybe take a little bit more of Savini's 1990 version of Night, the remake, which is a great remake? Are they going to take a little bit more of that and maybe change things up where Barbara survives and Ben becomes a zombie, and that's how he dies? Or are they going to go straight forward, just like the original classic? And they pretty much go right forward, straight forward, just like the original classic. And I was quite surprised that they did that. But the film is definitely worth checking out. Like I said, I would just wait for a price drop. I think this is going to drop in price pretty quickly. But overall, I could see this one maybe becoming a little bit hard to find over time. Who knows? I really do, because it's not something you're going to see all the time. There's definitely some gory animation in this film, too. They did not shy away from any of the gore in this release. And I'm happy to pick it up. Yes, I'm saying, wait for it to drop in price. If you're a horror fan, but maybe not the biggest, overall, zombie fan, then maybe wait for it to drop in price. But for me, because I love, the Romero stuff, it was a must buy for me. I had to pick this up. I had to get this into my collection. And I'm pretty happy that I did. This thing was like $25 and originally went for pre-order, and it dropped in price, got down to $18. Definitely worth picking up. If you're a big zombie fan, if you're a Romero fan, just a fan of Night of the Living Dead in general, it's definitely worth adding to a collection. And like I said, I don't really have to go into too much with the synopsis or the backstory of this film, because if you've seen Night, you know exactly things that go on. This is the beginning. This is how it all starts. And could I see them maybe doing a Dawn of the Animated Dead? That would be cool. Like I said, that would be really, really cool. But for the most part, like I said, the animation is good. It's not great, but it's pretty well done in this film. Like I said, just don't go into it thinking it's going to be like really fluid, and like a DC animated film. Or even like, I would say, if I'm going to compare it, I would say it's, because Marvel's What If is playing, on Disney Plus. I would say that it's a little bit of a step down from that animation, because I think that animation is pretty good. Not, again, still not DC level, but still pretty good. And this one's probably just a little bit below that. So it's not bad animation at all. And it definitely, like I said, it takes a few minutes to get used to, how this is going to play out, as far as the animation goes. But it's definitely gets better as it goes on, and you get more used to it, to this style. And it's definitely, like I said, the voice acting is really, really good in this. Definitely worth checking out just for that alone. Great cast of actors and actresses, like I mentioned. Definitely worth a watch. So, we are looking at Night of the Animated Dead. Check it out. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I will catch you in another episode as we continue the 31 days of Halloween.